As fans, we are looking at a game between Levan Aronian with white and Fabiano Caruana with black. The game was played in St. Louis 2018. The video contains 9 training questions to help you improve your chess. Aronian played e4, Caruana responded with c6, d4, d5, e takes, bishop d3, knight c6, 3-3, f6, bishop f4, bishop g4. Training question 1, a little opening theory. The bishop is threatening white's queen. What should white do? Okay, the main move in this position and the strongest move is queen b3, eyeing the b7 pawn, and after queen d7, knight d2, e6, knight gf3. This is a very harmonious development. The bishop cannot, there's no risk that there's a doubled pawn, and all pieces are developed very harmoniously to good squares. Okay, the game continued bishop d6, bishop takes, queen takes, and white grabs a pawn. Now after rook b8, queen a6, training question number 2. Should black's rook take on b2 and win back a pawn? Okay, the answer is no, because after rook takes, white has the blow bishop b5. The knight is pinned against the king, and the knight cannot move away because the queen is pinned as well, and black loses. So that's why in this position black didn't take the pawn but instead played castle to take the king out of this pin. And after bishop b5, black has rook b6, queen a4, and now the knight can move away to e7. The game continued knight e5, knight g6, knight takes h3, knight drops back. Training question number 3. Black is a pawn down, but actually if you look at the engine, he has a much better position. Why is that? Okay, black has a much better position because after the natural move castle, white's position quickly falls apart. And the reason is that black has the very strong rook f b8, attacking the bishop but also attacking the pawn behind the bishop. If the bishop drops back, it doesn't have good squares. Black can further activate his position, for example, with knight f4, and if the bishop then drops back, knight e2 check, king has to move, and now 2 pawns fall together with a very bad position, because in this case the bishop on c2 just doesn't have any good squares and gets lost. So as a result, in this position here, white cannot play the natural castle but has to play the very unnatural knight b3 instead. And that highlights why black actually has a better position. Okay, now white's pieces are a little bit uncoordinated. White is a pawn up, but black has these strong ideas in the position. Training question number 4. How can black now actually gain an advantage? Okay, knight b3 is unnatural, and so this plan here doesn't help black much. But black can gain an advantage by playing e5. And the idea is that white hasn't castled. All of these pieces are here on the side of the board, and black wants to open up the position against the king. So white castled, and now e4 highlights again all these pieces are ready for the attack and all these pieces cannot participate. And after rook f e1, training question number 5. Now how to continue the attack. White is going to use these pieces here to attack, and in the next few moves prepares this attack by putting them on the strongest squares. Knight to h5, bishop to f1. White is trying to untangle his pieces and bring them back to the defense. Knight h4, queen a5, and queen g6. Now the 2 knights and the queen are in the strongest squares to drive an attack, and we will see how just about now. Queen takes d5, knight f3 check. The pawn cannot take because the queen is pinning the pawn against the king. King h1. And now training question number 6. What is the final tactical blow? Okay, it's not knight takes, rook takes, which wins material, but the attack peters off. Instead, the much stronger move is knight g3 check, sacrificing a knight, but threatening mate, and there's nothing that white can do except playing queen to e5, and white loses the queen. If the queen takes e5, rook 81, black is material up. Black has 2 rooks, white has 2 rooks, and then there's the queen against the 2 minor pieces. But training question number 7. Grandmasters are resilient and the game is not over. Black to play, and what is the correct, most accurate plan to win? Okay, the most accurate plan to win is f5. f5 takes advantage of all the pieces that black has and highlights how they are put in the strongest position. The pawn moves forward and cracks open the position around the king. This rook is ready to swing over, and this rook defends the king and supports the pawn moving forward, and the queen is eyeing very dangerous squares as well. So f5 is the strongest plan to win the game. White is looking for counterplay with rook d7, attacking the pawn on a7. And now, training question number 8. What is white's most important asset in his position still? And with what move can black suppress or counterplay forever? Rook d6, very strong move. Rook d6 offers to trade rooks, but more importantly, makes sure that white cannot connect his rooks. Now white is attacking the a7 pawn. If black, for example, moved this pawn forward, white could play bishop c4 check, and if the king moves away, white could connect his rooks by rook ed8, rook ed1. And black is still material up, and black has the strong plan himself. But look, white's pieces already have gotten some counterplay. And as compared to rook d6, black's position is much stronger because white doesn't have any counterplay. Even though white wins this pawn now, he doesn't have any counterplay, and black can now continue his attack with queen g3, attacking the rook on e1. The rook has to move away. f4, continuing to march forward. Knight c5. Now queen e3, pinning the knight against the rook, just taking advantage of the fact that white's pieces are a little uncoordinated. The queen is able to attack several pieces at the same time, so black is using the queen to its maximum effect. White has to play b4. White is trying to mobilize his pawns, but this plan is too slow, because f3, rook e7, f takes, bishop takes, and now the rook swings over to h6, and white resigned here. But just for the sake of practice, after, let's say, knight e6, which is the strongest move in the position, training question number 9, what is the winning mating idea for black? Rook takes h3, only move bishop takes, queen takes, only move king g1, queen g4, only move king h1 or king h2, queen h4, king g1, and queen f2. The queen was dancing around a little bit so that it could jump to f2 with check, and after rook a1, after king h1, rook f6, the rook swings over. That's the winning mating idea. So have a look at this position again. Black sacrifices, and then it's all forcing moves up until that the queen comes over to f2, and then the mating idea is to play the rook over from f6 to h6. And this rook cannot attack the king, and also this rook up simply loses material. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope you learned a lot from these 9 training questions, and I'm looking forward to seeing you around here the next time.